All right. I'm gonna wait a minute here, see if this is working, if anybody shows up in the comments here. So let me know if I'm on. This has been just a struggle. It's funny. I consider myself, and generally people think of me as someone good at computers and tech, like my family does. But all I'm really good at is just struggling with it and like battling through it until it finally goes often. This has been like 45 minutes of working with this live. We don't do this very often, so oh, here we go. We're on. Great. Jeez Louise, nothing is easy. Okay, well, happy Saturday, everybody, and very happy to take a couple minutes here. Classic, the way these things go. My neighbor just started blowing leaves, so hopefully it's not too distracting. But I kind of have a full day booked and tomorrow, so this is my only chance to do this, and I really wanted to because number one, I don't do it very often. Number two, we're talking about the sale of this house, which is something that doesn't it's not going to happen again likely. And so this is something I've done maybe more than some people in terms of selling real estate. And I want to talk about why we're doing it the way we are and how it's going and those kinds of things. And I'm going to take some questions here in a minute. Oh, and yeah, okay, good. Good, good, good. I see some comments coming in. All right, hey guys. How's the porch project going, Daniel? It's good. In fact, that's what I'm starting here in a couple minutes. My neighbor has been so helpful, and he's going to come over and help me with a couple parts that need two hands. So that's what I'm moving through here. But let me just kind of go through the house sale part first, because there might be some people who are interested in that, and that's what they clicked on. So let's give them what they came for. Selling real estate is complicated. It just is. There's nothing else quite like it. It's hard to do impulse buys. It's so dependent on the location, like our house as has been well described in the comments, and as you all know, if we could pick it up and move it to Orange County or somewhere else, pretty much anywhere else, it'd probably be worth more. Just because of the location, and we're a little off the beaten path. And so real estate's a complicated thing to sell. And interestingly, just a week or two ago, I saw an article that Zillow, the big online company that makes all this great information, they kind of failed. That they were trying to do this attempt to buy and sell, inside of their website, and they just kind of said, "Nah, it's not working." They stopped that, and I'm not surprised. It's just complicated. And so here's the questions I wanted to cover that have been on our website. Our house is on the MLS also. So this, I think we kind of framed this sale a little bit like an auction, but I don't think that's the right way to think about it. It's more of just a traditional sale. It's on the MLS locally. It's ready for everybody to see. And in a lot of ways, MLS sales are auctions themselves. It's just everybody gets a chance to give the highest offer. And the thing that's annoying about it for me always is you kind of don't know what the other offers are. And maybe you've been in that situation where you are bidding on a house, or you want to, and you finally get a hold of the agent, and they're like, "Oh, we just accepted an offer." And you, or maybe you had an offer as well, and you're like, "Well, why didn't you tell me? And maybe I could have known." And so there's like this privacy aspect. No, it's not privacy. It's just kind of like less information is available. So our goal with this sale was simply to put more information out there and let people know what the offers are, in case someone, number one, in case someone wanted to make a better offer, they would at least know what it would take. And number two, so those of you who followed along could see this thing all the way to the end. So tomorrow's the last day. We don't have any offers yet, at least any firm contract offers. And we opened our price at 600,000. If we don't have an offer at 600,000, I think we'll just keep it on the market. It could take a while. In other words, I don't think we're ready to lower our price, and I want to make sure people understand that. If you're thinking about it, we might have given the impression that on Sunday night we're taking an offer no matter what. That is not the case. We're going to hold out for at least 600,000 unless something changes in a few months. I don't think that's what'll happen. We do have a bunch of serious people who are talking, but I think we framed it in a way that people are kind of waiting to see what the other information is, and I don't blame them. So, all right, next comment here. Oh, I don't know how many people this applies to, but it's just good practice about real estate, all business, but you can't go wrong by being honest and open. And so that's kind of also what we're trying to do. And especially online, because if you try to say something that's not true, or bluff online, whew, that's risky business. because if you get caught and if people figure out that it's way worse, much safer to just be honest and open with people in real life, especially online. That's what's going on with our sale. We're trying to just be honest about everything. All right. So those are the couple comments. Oh, and then the last thing, there's a lot of comments on the web. If you haven't visited our webpage yet, where the sale is happening, there's comments happening there. People asking some good questions, kind of on these topics. And the main thing I wanted to let those people know is, don't worry, it is on the MLS, and tomorrow should be an interesting day. If some more offers come in. So with that, I'm going to kind of pivot over to my camera here, answer some questions, and glad to hear the audio's coming in. Adam Jensen, 100% don't lower. That's how I feel. Every piece of real estate that I've ever sold, my strategy or my gut has always been just put it up at what seems like the fair price. Now, I've had business partners and friends and family and other people whose strategy is, no, you start at the top. You don't know what's going to happen. Don't sell yourself short. You're leaving money on the table. That all makes perfect sense. And I'm not saying that's a wrong strategy, but for me, it's just always made the most sense to try to go straight to the fair price. And then if it goes up from there, great. If it goes down from there, you don't know. Maybe the best way to put it is the market will determine the right price of things. So that's my strategy as well. We're not going to lower it. All right. How's the grass in front doing? From Dale Ann. Harsh. It's okay, but we're kind of past the growing season now. So the grass when you're driving up, it looks great. When you get right over top of it and look down, it's thin. And I don't know what's going to happen. I think next spring, maybe once it warms up, some more seed will help it fill in. It looks good. It's uniform. It's trim, but something's not right. I think what happened, the grass seed, I'm guessing one type of the seed, it's like a mix of different seeds, didn't survive, and maybe one of the hardier ones survived, and so it's slim pickings for those. All right. Oh, Nathan Brown has a great question. All right, give me a minute. I'm gonna go find. Okay, here we go. Can you tell us more about the street? Are they all developer build, self builds, spec houses? Okay, that is a great question. Thank you for asking that. That gets to the point about the price. The street's nice. They are all. They're not all spec homes, and I wouldn't call them custom homes, but they're just kind of all one off. I guess spec. Most of the homes are either custom or spec, and they're nice, but we are way above the next highest price home on the street. There's been a few sales over the last few years, and I don't know off the top of my head, but I don't know if anything is sold for over $500,000 on that street. Now, we overbuilt. We made a cardinal. It's not a sin. We did it very intentionally, and we did it for the channel. So it's not a mistake. We decided to spend more and do a nicer job on this house than probably should have been done for the street. So that's going to be complicated if it sells for way past 600, let's say 700. If it's cash, that's fine. If an appraiser is involved, I don't know how he's going to get there. I don't know. Maybe he can get there just fine because, there's a vacant lot next door, and the fellow who owned it was getting ready to build on that very similar lot, and he got a price back to build that house that was just way beyond. It was close to what we're trying to sell ours for. In other words, that's what it's costing to build houses right now. So I don't know. I'm glad I'm not an appraiser having to answer those questions. All right. I apologize. I'm not good at these live streams, and I'm basically just going to come over here and hit the first good question or two. So if you guys have a question, just repeat it if you think it's a good one, or comment on it. All right. Austin, I'm going to read this. Generally, that's not a good thing, but you also have the highest lot on the street with the best view. It may work out fine. It may. And I'm talking about the street. It's a neighborhood, and there's other streets in the neighborhood higher up with even better views, a little bigger, that are selling for more. So we're not like wildly out of range of the neighborhood. It's just every house is different. That's one more reason why real estate is such a fussy thing. Every property is different. I generally, I don't know, maybe around here when I was in Phoenix, actually, I take that back, because you could go in subdivisions and it was pretty easy to figure out the price of a house because there would be a perfect match, 2 streets over. So in that case, you do kind of know, but in this neighborhood, unfortunately, that is not the case. All right. The LWQ, how much was the area affected by wildfires? Zero in town here. The closest fire was maybe like 25 miles away, maybe a little less. A lot of smoke, but no fires in the immediate vicinity, like threatening the property. All right. I'm gonna keep going down. Appraisal will get there just fine. Yeah, I agree. They're professionals. They know what to do. All right, here's from Jesse. I'm going to read this. Spec homes are for seasoned builders with deep pockets. I joined a few of my friends for a spec house and ended up losing 15K. Ooh, minimal, but it was a long ordeal. It's funny how there's a lot of builders, great builders, who will vow like, I don't do spec for that reason. You're taking risk. That's really what it is. It's how comfortable are you with the risk? You're taking that on your shoulders. And building a custom home for a client has its own challenges. You have another party involved and you're satisfying them, and that has its challenges, but it's that also puts the risk on somebody else if something goes sideways or if the market changes. And so yeah, it's really about risk, and that's true. All right. Jazzy Josh, the market's super crazy out here. I honestly stopped looking for now. It's wild. In Phoenix, all my friends around the country are saying the same story. The prices of their homes, and lots of them are in the industry where they're buying and selling, and it's wild. In fact, I chickened out in real estate like in 2018 or maybe 17. I felt at that time the market was like getting too hot. And so I was kind of like, I kind of slowed down my buying and investing, just sort of like, man, I don't know, this feels weird. And I would do anything to go back. I'd buy everything I could see if I could go back. So I don't know. I don't have the risk tolerance for it, but things change. All right. Hunter 17. What was your favorite part of the process? Well, to be honest, I've never been on a job site of a brand new house build from soup to nuts like this ever. I've been in lots of houses at different stages, but this was a new thing for me. And so I guess I'd say the whole process in terms of like seeing something from beginning to end. I've remodeled it a bit, and so I feel like I understand. Once the walls and the drywall were up, and I kind of it was looking pretty familiar, and at that point, I kind of like knew the end of the movie. But the first part, the foundation going in and the framing, that was new. I was a kid when Dad was doing that before, and I would be on some of his jobs from time to time, and it makes sense. But that was new to me, so I guess that part was my favorite. Although just being a part of something from going from nothing to something was probably my favorite. I don't know if that's a good answer. That's how I feel. All right. Okay, Paul Munnings. Anything you would have done differently with hindsight? Mm, I don't know. I guess it's maybe too soon to tell. We'll see what happens after the sale, and I probably the answer is no, because even if it sells for less than we're hoping, um, the video record is like something that we kind of get to keep forever, and that's why we did it, and that was a success. We're really proud of the video. So no, I don't think besides like some minor things along the way, but no, I think generally speaking, I'm just really happy the way it turned out. It's funny with building, this is like a little bit of like a trope, but you can choose how fast, how much, or how good the quality. And it's so funny how even for us that rang true, and the thing we gave up on was how fast. It took a long time. We did not expect that. But I can't say like if I could do it over, I would go faster, because it's not possible. For us, it would not have been possible. It's just how long it took. So, all right. Do you have any more from Peter? Do you have any more videos of the house to release? Yeah, Peter, we do. We've probably got 10, maybe 12. I'm not sure. A good handful of them, and they're good video. They're like new. Each one at this point, during the framing, there was a lot of videos in a row that were similar, which was great. But now the videos kind of are a different trade each time, and so Each video has its own kind of deal going on with different tradesmen and stuff. So I don't know, 8 or 10, and they're all great. Oh, and the blacksmithing. That's probably the major videos to come. The hand forged stuff that my dad did. Those videos have been a lot of work. Brooke is doing them. She's helping us. She's doing a great job. And her and my dad have been just working on these videos for, I don't know, months, forever, a long time. So those are the big ones coming. Okay, Gordon, how much did having sponsors and material donated factor into your asking price? Did you try to value to incredible craftsmanship that went into the house? Um, it honestly didn't factor into our asking price because we kind of already, like, if we had paid for those materials, like the roofing and the plumbing fixtures and stuff, if we had paid for them out of pocket, um, we would not now be asking for a higher sales price from the property, because we kind of feel like 600,000 as an asking price is a fair starting point in this neighborhood. And so now, if maybe the better question would be, if those weren't sponsored, would we have built as nice of a house? And I don't know if that's true. For example, the plumbing fixtures, which you guys haven't seen yet, they are so beautiful. And all the plumbing fixtures I've ever bought in my life are like the builder grade, kind of more affordable fixtures. They work fine. These ones from American Standard are so beautiful, and one time one came out of the box, I was like, "Whoa!" We would not have bought fixtures that nice if they weren't donated. So maybe that'll translate to a higher sales price, but I don't really know. It's some people care about that, other people don't. So I think we'll have to ask whoever buys it how much of that mattered to them. When will we? Okay, from Mitch, when will we online get to see the whole house in a walkthrough? I'm so glad you said that. I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, we got to do it. So I'll put that on our schedule, and we'll do it. Maybe like with a GoPro, or just kind of walking through with my dad or something. A GoPro is a easier way to get. No, I don't know, but good reminder. We'll do it before it sells, because when that day comes, we will not have the keys. Philip, are you going to build a skyscraper next? No, but I would love to see a skyscraper get built. If anybody is a skyscraper builder, I just watched the video from Practical Engineering about the leaning skyscraper in San Francisco, and been thinking about it a lot, and it's so amazing. So I'd love to see that happen. Lech. If your house sells for $700K, you raise property taxes for all your neighbors. They will probably have 275 houses. They will be overjoyed at paying higher taxes. Yeah, I don't know how property taxes work like that. It's possible. Don't know. Surprise, no solar, but great house and series. Thanks, Nick. Pacific Northwest was not a good place for solar. Indeed. Okay, Terrence, I found the concrete work amazing. Yeah, it was. It was really great. Scrolling up here. If you got any more questions, I'm gonna kind of move on from my day, unless you guys got any more questions on here. So shoot them over. Especially about the house sale. That's what I'm here for. All right, will you do a video on the design and architecture of the house? We did. I guess I'm not sure what kind you're talking about. We did a video, when we were unveiling and sharing the plans, and so go back and watch that one. We do have a video where we're going to talk about design work in general. Not interior design. That's not something we know a lot about, but it is actually a part of building. High-end builders, a designer is critical member of the team. And my wife kind of filled that role for us. So we were lucky to have her. So we do have a video where we're going to mention that, although we're not designers. Maybe that's what you're talking about. All right. Have you just considered getting the whole house 3D scanned like a Matterport? I don't know what that is. That'd be cool. I take it that's like some kind of drone that shoots it. Good idea. Do you have a house tour yet? No, it was open for the open house, so people got to walk through it right then. All right, guys. Well, okay, Jay Ann, what's on the horizon for your next project? I don't know. We don't know. We're gonna make videos, probably more along the lines of what we made before the Spec House. My dad really wants to do more blacksmithing. That's really what he is into, and we've kind of neglected that. We say that all the time, but so there'll be more of that. He's got some building projects at his house. He's got coming up. He's going to build a set of cabinets out of those oak trees. He's going to build a tree house. So I don't know. It'll be the same but different, I would say. probably not another house series quite like this. Um, have you done staging yet? No, we didn't do much staging, just a couple rugs and some pictures. Not really a question, but the house would be a million if you're in Massachusetts or New Hampshire. I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. Did you serve cookies or bake in the oven? Does this really work? As a matter of fact, my mom was baking cookies during the open house. So the oven has baked and it worked good. And I don't know if that works. It might. This house is I don't know. It has a good feeling when you go inside. So I'm sure warm cookies would feel even better. But this house is pretty has a great feeling without it. I would encourage a large reclamation or remodel. That would be cool. Big fan of Pusher Folks. What's next? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Like I said, we'll you just kind of don't know. We don't know. So you guys can help us find out, and once we know, we'll put it up. Thanks everybody for watching. If you are serious about keeping track of the sale, that's happening on our website where I'm answering questions there a little closer. And when serious buyers come, we will post them. But like I said, on Sunday night is when we will be either accepting an offer, or from then on, accepting an offer will be fair game. So if you are waiting, don't wait any longer than that, because we're not going to make a big announcement like, careful, we're going to announce we're going to accept an offer in 5 minutes. Like, no, we're going to accept an offer as soon as there's one that works on Sunday evening. And if we don't have an offer that works for us, we'll wait. It'll really be a traditional sale, with where it's on the MLS, which it is right now if you haven't found it already. All right, guys. Well, yeah. Okay, Joshua, last thing here. Oh, and Truly Happy, I'll find your question. If the buyer is up for it, I'd love to see a walkthrough of the house furnished. Wouldn't that be cool? I would too. I've got a video my dad did at the beginning when it was just a lot, and I cut this at the time. It just didn't fit, but he was talking a little bit about how he was imagining how cool it'd be for a family to live there, um, and that's kind of at the point we're at now. And if a family lived there, whoever it is, it's just so cool to think about it being someone's home and having some meaning to them. And it'd be amazing if they open the door and let us come back through. Wouldn't have to be right away. Could be someday. Maybe it'll be in like 10 years. They'll let us do a catch up on it. So, okay, someone, I wanted to check your comment up here. Read the super chat. Okay, Adrian. It's so tough. My computer's over here and they're just zooming by. Let me just pause here and see which questions I'm missing that are important. Coke or Pepsi? I prefer Diet Coke. Sprite, property taxes. Okay, here we go. The house website hasn't updated with any bids. What's the status on bids? We don't have any firm bids. We have some phone calls. We have some people saying they have a bid that's coming, but we don't have one in hand, and so I haven't updated the site with that. Read my question. Truly Happy. I will if I can find it. Post it again. Truly Happy. I'm not finding it. You're the man, Nate. Thank you, Richard. Are you going live for the offer acceptance? I don't think so. No, we're not good at going live, and at some point, we got to just take care of business. So when that time comes, we'll at some point, let people know how it went down. But no, we're not going to make a big deal about signing the offer and acceptance or anything like that. We're going to try to just get the work done. An episode with the Perkins would be a treat. Amen. Yeah, love those guys, and I would love to do that. That would be fun. Glad you enjoyed the video. Oh, thank you, Mr. Engineer. I loved the video. I really did. And I don't know how it popped on my feed, but great stuff. Read the super chat. I'm reading it. Current bid. Will EC okay. Oh, here we go. Truly Happy. Will EC ever consider posting videos sent in by craftsmen of various trades? Yes. In fact, to some of those questions about what's next for EC, things change and things are different, and it's normal. And as we change and make new content and move on for the Spec House, we've thought and are thinking about what that will look like. And we've had that thought. Not just, on the Spec House, we highlighted work from other tradesmen as they came onto our job. There's probably easier ways to do that. Some of you may have job sites where there's something really interesting happening, and I would love to feature that, whether we filmed it or you did and sent it in. Um, that would be amazing. And there are so many parts of construction that are unique and specific that very few people see. Speaking of like that in practical engineer and that driving piles just as an example, that I've never seen that. I barely knew about it. The machinery, the lumber, where those trees come from, that it's a trade. It's gigantic, but there's things like that very few people get to see, that most of us rely on in our daily life to some extent. And I would love to make videos about that, and I'm sure my dad would as well. So yeah, I don't know exactly what it would look like, but if people sent in footage or invited us to an interesting job site in the future, I could see that happening. um Something about legend crypto, I'm not sure what that is. A lottery for the sale. Can you build me a house? Low budget spec house. That'd be cool too. I would love to see a more classic spec house built, or even just like a super high production um, kind of quick and dirty house. Just to see how fast people go through it. It's not well suited to the way we make content, but I'd love to see it. You missed the super chat. Oh, geez, there it is. Oh, so sorry. Okay, that guy Joe Daddy. My dad passed away over the summer, and thank you, $20. Thank you so much. And he has been sick for 4 years. Watching the house build videos over and over was very enjoyable for him. That was and always be a blessing. That is so great. Thank you for sharing that, and I'm so glad I saw that. And that's really great. Thank you. We this whole series, I think there are a lot of people who would enjoy seeing it. We've thought about, and someone offered it from our patrons to put the whole series on like a thumb drive. There's some folks older, let's say, even, who aren't as comfortable going online, and maybe there'd be a way to get the whole series in one spot. My grandpa, he watches old westerns. He loves it, and he would probably watch stuff like this if it was more doable for him. So um, I'm glad that worked out with your dad, and I'm sorry for your loss. All right. Well, thanks everybody. I'm going to sign off and get to work for the day, but I'm going to leave this video up. I'm going to link it to our website on that sale, so that hopefully this answers some of those questions there. Can't thank you all for being a part of our channel, and we will catch you all next time. Have a great day. Happy weekend.